Hey, what's up everybody? It's the Hyphenate here, and today we're going to talk about these new Fresnel lenses made by iFootage for COB lights. They have a full-size Bowens mount version as well as a mini Bowens mount version. They can be pretty much used with any COB lights that have these mounts. The full-size Bowens mount version is the 6FPL, which has an adjustable beam angle from 12 degrees to 40 degrees. And the slightly smaller mini Bowens mount version is the 6FPM, which has an adjustable beam angle of 8 degrees to 35 degrees. The front element, the glass, is the exact same diameter on both, coming in at a little over 5 inches. Now, when it comes to the build quality, they're both built very well, mostly made of plastic. However, there is one flaw that I want to mention in the mini Bowens mount version. Currently, the actual mold feels like it's not really fitting perfectly within the iFootage COB lights. So if you look closely to this one, it actually has some wiggle room. You can see it kind of move around a little bit. That's not the light being loose on the stand. That's the actual Fresnel not being tight on the mount. So it droops down just a little bit. It doesn't stay completely centered. Now that can slightly compromise the light output going through the Fresnel. Now I've seen other reviewers mention that as well, only with the mini Bowens mount version. So I think that's something that iFootage can easily do. Please redo that mold and send me a new one so I can make sure that it works good and I can update the video. But currently right now, that's a big kind of issue. It's not huge, but it's just, I don't like that. It should not be loose. Now, it's not gonna fall out. It definitely still locks in there, but it should be tight where all the light beam can go directly through the Fresnel. And just to clarify, that's only with the mini Bowens mount version. That issue is non-existent with the full-size Bowens mount. This thing feels tight and very solid. Now, these barn doors are loose, but the other barn doors on my other light are perfectly stiff. And because the front element is the same, you can actually use the barn doors on either the mini version or the full-size Bowens mount version. So iFootage, I'm gonna need you to make some better barn doors that are not so flimsy and loose. Now, putting on the Fresnel on either light is actually very simple. And both of them have a barrel that extends or comes back in. Now, another thing I wanna mention, this is not so much about the actual Fresnel itself, but with the iFootage SL160 or 130 COBs that are this size, this is actually pretty heavy for these small lights. So with the iFootage lights, you have to really crank this down. And even this is pretty tight, but look at how simple it is to kind of start to droop down. You have to put it really, really tight. What I would like to see is them have a different locking system, something that has teeth so that it can actually grip on a little harder, a little easier to lock, and it won't droop whatsoever with a Fresnel of this weight. Again, that's not so much about the Fresnel itself. That's something that I think iFootage needs to update on their locks for their smaller COB lights. And then here's the full-size version, fully extended and retracted. Now, when it comes to the weight with the bigger iFootage lights, you don't really have that issue because this lock is a lot stronger than the lock that's on these smaller lights. Now, another accessory that comes with the barn doors is this little honeycomb grid here. It's actually very lightweight, kind of feels a little cheap, but it does what it's meant to do. It's not gonna really break so long as you don't smash it on anything, but it's not very strong. Go ahead and just push it in and it locks in there. Now, to get it out, it's kind of hard to kind of just pull it out with it on. It's kind of easier when you take off the barn doors and then you just push it out. So here's a size comparison. Here's the full size and the mini size. They have the exact same front, again, which is why they have interchangeable barn doors. Though the body is pretty much the same size as well, the full-size Bowens mount protrudes, whereas the mini is more on the inside. So this is pretty much the only thing that makes the size different. Everything else is the exact same. Now, like I mentioned, the mini version is not really well molded. I suspect that iFootage can actually just redo this back part, and for those of us who have this, they can just replace this part or just send us this part. We can take off these screws, put the new mold, and then we'll be good to go without having this be droopy. Now, when it comes to the construction and build, these are both very well made. Everything is very solid. Almost everything is plastic except for this front part here. This is metal. This is where the barn door is attached to. And then obviously the heaviest part is the actual glass. And each one does have a little sticker with information about the size, weight, and also the beam angle. But also, if you start to open the barrel, you start to see the actual degree line here. So you can see the beam of angle you're gonna get. So right now on the screen, you're seeing roughly about 10, 11 feet wide and maybe about 5, 6 feet in height. Here's the iFootage 220 watt COB light, which uses a Bowens mount. This is with no attachment whatsoever. Currently at 2.5% light output. And now let's go ahead and put the Fresnel at the widest beam angle. Now that's at 40 degrees. You can see the light is brighter now and drastically reduced around the sides. We're gonna go ahead and go into 12 degrees. So you can see the Fresnels concentrate the light so it makes it a little bit brighter. Also creates a tighter beam with some vignetting so it doesn't have a very harsh or sharp outline. All right, let's go ahead and go back out a little bit wider. Let me put it at a slight angle. Go tighter again. So here we have the 60 watt COB light, and this is with no attachment whatsoever at 2.5% output power. Now let's go ahead and put the mini Bowens Fresnel. So here we are at the widest, which is 35 degrees. And then now let's narrow in to 8 degrees. Again, you see that little droop that I mentioned earlier. It droops down instead of being completely forward like it's supposed to be. If I put it to the side, maybe you'll notice it a little bit more. So right now it's drooping down. I'm gonna press it more where it should be. It's a pretty significant droop. iFootage, please fix that back mold on this mini Bowens light. Again, very good quality of beam though. The vignette and soft edges are very nice. Definitely intensifies the light, makes it brighter. Both of them work as a Fresnel should. So there you have it. That's the iFootage Fresnels made for COB lights, the Bowens mount and the mini Bowens mount versions. If you're interested in getting them, I do have links in the description where you can purchase them. It doesn't change the price that you get it at, but it does help this channel. Now at the time of this video being released, there is a bundle sale available on the iFootage website. You get 10% off every time you check out any lights and new accessories from the website. So to save some money, go to ifootagegear.com. Please make sure to drop a like on this video, drop a comment below if you have any questions, and please make sure to subscribe. We have a lot more videos coming soon. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.